Hello dear students, welcome to the course of engineering thermodynamics. Today we are going to discuss vapor power cycles. Myself Mihir Mistry, assistant professor of mechanical department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. So we have seen vapor power cycle, and in particular that we have gone through Carnot cycle and Rankine cycle. So today we are going to compare Carnot cycle and Rankine cycle. But before doing so, we will see two definitions, that is steam rate and heat rate. So very first is steam rate. Simple, it is easy to understand. It is nothing but sometimes power plant efficiencies are defined in way of steam rate or heat rate. So the rate of steam flow required to produce unit shaft output, that is known as steam rate, right? The rate of steam flow required to produce unit shaft output, that is known as steam rate. So steam rate, so let us understand. For example, I want to produce unit shaft output. So unit shaft output, that means what? Turbine work minus pump work. So that is my net power. So net power is in denominator, right? To produce this much net power, what amount of steam rate is required? So for example, 1 kg per hour is required. So 1 kg per kilowatt hour of steam rate is required to produce this much amount of net work, right? So that is how you can identify, right? Now next is heat rate. So rate of heat input required to produce unit shaft output, that is 1 kilowatt, that is known as heat rate, right? So heat rate is nothing but expressed like this, that is 3600 into Q1 divided by turbine work minus pump work, kilojoule per kilowatt hour. Since it is heat rate, that means if you want to produce 1 kilowatt power, then how much heat is required? That is heat rate. Okay, so in numerical form you can represent it like this. And to produce 1 kilowatt output power, how much steam is required? So how much steam rate is required? That is known as steam rate. Okay, so it might be asked during numericals in examination that what is steam rate, heat rate, or find out steam rate or heat rate. So at that time you have to use these formulas. Okay, so remember these two. Now let's move further and compare Carnot cycle with Rankine cycle. So as you can see over here, there are three graphs, that is A, B and C. Now first of all the graphs are plotted on TS diagram, so take that in mind. Okay, now starting from the first diagram, that is A, we will understand what is the significance of 1, 2, 3, 4C and 4R point. So now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4C and 1, that is known as Carnot cycle, right? Again 1, 2, 3, 4C and 1, that is known as Carnot cycle. Appreciate, right? Next is 1, 2, 3, 4R and back to 1, that is known as Rankine cycle, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4R and back to 1, that is known as Rankine cycle, right? You might be aware about the fact that this is nothing but the saturation dome, right? And in this saturation dome, the yellow highlighted path is nothing but saturated liquid line, and in this saturated dome, the blue highlighted path is nothing but saturated vapor line, right? So keep that thing in your mind. The left hand side of the dome will represent pure liquid, the intermediate state will represent liquid plus vapor, right? Liquid plus vapor, and the right hand side of the dome will represent only vapor, right? So keep this thing in your mind, right? Now we have identified two cycles, right, in this diagram, that is Carnot cycle and Rankine cycle. Now further let us follow diagram B. So in diagram B, as you can see, first of all 1, 2S, 3C, 4C, 1, that will be Carnot cycle. Next 1, 2S, 3, 4R and 1, okay, that is known as Rankine cycle. Okay, I am just showing you that which cycle is which one. Okay, next diagram C. So now you can identify 1, 2S, 3, 4C and 1, that is Carnot cycle, and 1, 2S, 3, 4R and back to 1, that is nothing but Rankine cycle. Okay, clear? Now let us compare this in different perspective, right? And very first perspective is the efficiency. Okay, so for finding out the efficiency, now you can appreciate that. Let us compare diagram A and B first, sorry, A and C first. Okay, so diagram A and C, these two diagrams. So in this two diagram you can appreciate the fact that heat rejection is taking place during this 2 to 3 process, right? Because if you recall Carnot cycle, then 2 to 3 will be heat rejection process, constant temperature heat rejection process. So 2 to 3. Same way for Rankine cycle also, heat rejection is 2 to 3, right? So you can say that in diagram A, for both Carnot as well as Rankine cycle, heat rejection process is same, right? So if I want to identify the amount of heat rejected, then what shall I do? Remember the first law lectures. I have already told you that if you are following TS diagram, then any curvature drawn on TS diagram and area under that curvature, that means this much area. See, this much area, right? So this much area will represent what? The heat rejection during the process 2 to 3, right? The blue highlighted color is nothing but a heat rejection during the process 2 to 3. Okay, so for Rankine as well as for Carnot, both heat rejection is same. Same way in diagram C also you can identify that 2s to 3 process is nothing but heat rejection process for Rankine as well as for Carnot, right? So here also if you identify the area under the curvature in TS diagram, then heat rejection area is same. See here, this much amount of heat can be rejected, right? So this much amount of heat that is highlighted by blue color, right, that is rejected. Okay, for Carnot as well as Rankine cycle. So now you recall the efficiency equation. So what is the equation of efficiency? Efficiency is equal to 1 minus QR divided by QS, right? So according to that equation, what will happen? See, this is the heat rejected, that is QR, and this is the heat supplied, that is QS. So according to that equation, if your QR is same, so here you can see, let us say for diagram A, for Carnot cycle as well as for Rankine cycle, for diagram A only, for Carnot cycle as well as for Rankine cycle, his heat rejected is same. So now what will happen? Now identify in which process, whether in Carnot or Rankine, the heat supplied is more. Identify that in particularly this diagram A. So now you can see, again recall the first law lectures, that this is heat supplied during Carnot cycle, right? That is identified by red color, right? And the heat supplied during Rankine cycle, let me highlight it by green color or yellow color. Let me highlight it by yellow color. So this is heat supplied during Rankine cycle, right? And from red color I'll highlight the heat supplied during Carnot cycle, right? So now tell me the area under which curvature will be higher. So obviously area under 4C to 1, that means heat added during Carnot cycle will be higher compared to heat added during Rankine cycle. So if this term is high, that is QS. If this term is high, then this whole term QR by QS will decrease. If QR by QS will decrease, then efficiency will increase. So that means what? For diagram A, efficiency of Carnot cycle will be higher than efficiency of Rankine cycle. Agree everyone, right? So that is the condition or comparison, that is very first comparison. Same way for diagram C also. Now observe that for diagram C, heat rejection is same. Okay, so for diagram C, heat rejection is same. Now heat added during Rankine cycle is this one, highlighted by red color. Heat added during Rankine cycle is highlighted by red color, and heat added during Carnot cycle is highlighted by green color in diagram C. Okay, heat added during Carnot cycle is highlighted by green color in diagram C. Now you tell me in which process or in which Carnot or Rankine, in which cycle the heat added is higher. So obviously the area under 4C to 1, that is Carnot cycle heat addition area, will be higher compared to Rankine cycle heat addition area, because always you have to take the area below the curvature, not above the curvature. Okay, so that keep that thing in your mind. Okay, so that means what? For Carnot cycle heat addition is more compared to Rankine cycle for diagram C also. So if that is the case, then for diagram C also efficiency of Carnot cycle will be higher than efficiency of Rankine cycle. Clear? So this is what the first and second comparison is, right? Now further, let's move forward. Next comparison. Now observe diagram A and B. Okay, now observe diagram A and B. Okay, so in A and B, now what will happen? See, the thing that is happening is, let me clear this for you guys. Okay, now the thing that is occurring is for diagram A and C, it is assumed here that let us say this line is in parallel to this line for diagram A and B. Same way this line, that is higher heat addition line, is parallel to line this one, right? That means what? Heat addition and heat rejected line are same. That is assumed that in diagram A and B, heat addition and heat rejection is taking place at the same temperature. Okay, if that is the case, then what will happen here? If here Carnot cycle is having efficiency greater than Rankine cycle, then obviously here also Carnot cycle will be having higher efficiency than Rankine cycle, right? Now let's move further. Next comparison is efficiency we have compared, right? Now next comparison is for pump work. So now as you can see, let us consider diagram A. So in diagram A also you can consider or see that for Carnot cycle the pump work is this much. See, for diagram A, for Carnot cycle the pump work is this much, 3 to 4 C, right? But on the other side, for Rankine cycle the pump work is very less, right? For Rankine cycle, let us highlight it by blue color. So for Rankine cycle this much is only the pump work. Okay, same way for diagram B, for Rankine cycle the pump work is this much, right? But on the other side, for Carnot cycle in diagram B, the pump work is 3C to 4C, this much, right? Highlighted by yellow color. I hope you can see that, right? Further, same way diagram C, observe C diagram. So in diagram C also, the pump work for Carnot cycle is this much, 3 to 4 C. Same way, compared to that, for Rankine cycle, the diagram is shown over here, this much, right? So that means what? For every cycle, if you observe, then the Carnot cycle pump work is higher than the Rankine cycle pump work. So if pump work of Carnot cycle is higher, then it is not practical, right? Because if you think, then this much pump work is done, but on the other side this much turbine work is done. That means your pump work and turbine work is almost same. So your net output will be almost zero, right? So that is not desirable, because this much pump work is not required, right? This much higher pump work is not required for practicality, right? So in case of this Carnot cycle, this much pump work is not acceptable. Okay, so that is why you have to neglect, or you have to so next comparison is based on the pump work. So if you observe over here, then for diagram A, let us consider for diagram A, if you observe, then Carnot cycle pump work is this much higher. Compared to that, Rankine cycle pump work is 3 to 4 R, that is small. Same way for diagram B, if you observe, Carnot cycle pump work is higher, this is 3C to 4C. But on the other side, Rankine cycle pump work is small, that is 3 to 4 R, right? Same way for diagram C also, Carnot cycle pump work is higher, that is 3 to 4C. But on the other side, for Rankine cycle it is low, that is 3 to 4 R. So in all cases, Rankine cycle pump work is small compared to Carnot cycle. So that is why Carnot cycle is not practical, because this much amount of pump work cannot be practically achieved. Okay, so that is why one of the reason is Carnot cycle cannot be preferred, because high pump work is required. So pump work in Carnot cycle is greater than pump work in Rankine cycle. Okay, so let's move further to next comparison, right? So next comparison is, observe the diagram B. Okay, so if you observe the diagram B, then in that diagram you can appreciate that in Carnot cycle here we have 3C, right? So 3C to 4C. Now which device will be used in between 3C to 4C? So obviously pump will be used, right? So if pump is used, that means what? Physical interpretation of this process 3C to 4C in between this dome is what? It means that you should have a pump at the inlet of which you are supplying steam and at the outlet of which you are having water. So practically it is not possible to design such pump at which at the inlet you are having steam and at the outlet you are having water, right? So that is difficult to handle practically this situation. Okay, so that is why Carnot cycle is not practical. Okay, and Rankine cycle is somewhat practical, but in diagram A and C this will not be the case. Okay, this might be the possible cases. Okay, the Carnot cycle may be like this also, it can be represented like this also, or it can be represented like this also. Okay, so comparison is done for various different possible cases. Okay, so that is all for today. We will keep up to this point. Thank you.